Hey guys, this is Faster You Fall, brought to you by FitLab, Tailwind Nutrition, Biomax and Capital Cycles. If you're a cyclist, you want to go faster? Let's giddy up. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Faster You Fall. It's about Tailwind Nutrition, Biomax and Capital Cycles, FitLab. Hey, we're doing some more racing on the weekend. I'll give you a review this time. What went down? Kapiti Winter Series number 2. Same circuit up at Tahoro. If you're watching, you can see it there. A roughly 20k circuit. Funny little triangular shaped circuit. Sort of, a couple of turns. And this is number 2 of 4. 4 weeks in a row. Kapiti Winter Series. Numbers down a little bit this time. Only 6 of us started in A grade, a few more in B. Generally only half the numbers of the first race. Because the weather was down. It was a little bit rough. But it actually came nice for the race. So, notable emissions from A grade this time around. Brendan McGrath and Dr. Dave. And that did bring the level down a little bit. Lining up in A grade. Vaughan Pretorius, Dan Wojcicki, me, Paul Deinhoven, and Dan Shepherd. So yeah, not a big ride. So the level started out pretty consistent. We're all lapping it out for the first lap. Actually, let's have a look at numbers here for the race. Average speed 39.1, so down about 1k an hour from the week before. Explain why that is in a minute. EP 314, so actually down about 20 watts in terms of EP down from the week before. So the level was a little lower. Max power 942, that was down. I'll talk about why that was too. I know I have a reason for that in my training. Average heart rate 150, cadence 92. So we started out lapping out reasonably solidly. Dan Shepherd was the weaker member of our little ship, and he got dislodged after about the first lap, give or take. After that, we all lapped pretty well. I had some pretty weak attacks, and my thought process was that, you know, I've specialised a little bit more in the TT over the last couple of years. I have almost no sprint to speak of, and you know, that's not great. I'll show you a video of that at the end of this if you're watching the video. That will make it abundantly clear what happens if you don't have a good sprint. So I had some weak attacks off in this sort of, you know, halfway through the course here. Nice little tailwind, a little bit of a semi-southerly coming through there. Came to pretty much nothing. Vaughan Pretorius, probably the strongest of us all, riding like a maniac. He's been training hard and he's building up for some races in China, I gather. I wasn't able to do much. Dan held on, and at some stage around there, Vaughan launched off the front. He held us off for the best part of a lap or so, which was good. Kind of dangling off the front there, but we weren't really hanging around. You can see in that period, mid-period of the race, EP 305, just nicely lapping me, Dan, and Paul. So we'd dropped Dan Shepherd at that point, who held on for a really long time. It was good riding. So eventually we reeled in Vaughan, and he schooled me in something the last 2 races, which is this technique where I remember when I was a kid and I was playing hockey, some freezing morning in the hut, and there was this technique my coach at the time showed me, and I kind of didn't realise it was actually applicable to cycling, which is when you want to reduce the speed differential between you and the person who's attacking. So in hockey, the way that works is if you've got someone honking up the left wing towards you, you don't run up to them, you kind of close the distance and then, run the same direction they are so that your speed differential is lower. It's easier to get the ball. It's the same thing. Vaughan has this nice little move where instead of drifting back quite suddenly to a chasing group, he'll really attack quite hard before you catch him, reduces the speed differential and can hold the wheel much better, which was good. I'm pretty sure I tried that on him fairly weakly and he had no trouble holding my wheel. So that's a good move. Good on you, Vaughan. So another interesting thing that happened about halfway through the race here, there's probably some points where my power is dropping out down here. The whole reason for that was that my booties kept peeling off the back of my feet. The zip was somehow coming down and they were flapping a bit. And I was a bit worried because down around the chainring I thought it's a potential pile up waiting to happen if you got your booties flapping around down by your feet. So I said to the guys, hey look, I got this problem, or they could sort of see. So here's a bit of good sportsmanship for you. Vaughan and Dan stopped what they were doing, pushed me so I could unravel my booties from around my feet. And they could have taken off. They could have just put the hammer down and completely dropped me while I was fishing around, but they didn't. And it was a really classy move. Now they did have the detriment to me of putting me in a bit of a predicament where, as I said, I can't sprint. So my only option really in any kind of race is to attack somewhere and try to break away, either myself or some other guys. And I didn't really feel like that was, within the spirit of things at that point when they had taken away, they had supported me. I didn't really feel like it was, even though we're back on the same playing field at that point, I didn't really think it was all that acceptable to attack. I don't really know why. I just thought it was an etiquette thing, so I hadn't really. Obvious, there's almost no chance I would have stayed away anyway with those 2 maniacs on my wheel. It was just an interesting thing. Dan told me afterwards that no one would have really cared if I did, probably for the aforementioned reason, but I probably wouldn't have been able to get away anyway. But, so I didn't. And maybe the lesson out of that is, when in doubt, be classy. That was very cool from them. And I probably did the right thing. Coming into the end of the race, that meant that I sort of felt that I needed to lead things out a bit. And while we were pissing around with my booties, Paul Deinhoven, who we had dropped, time-trialled his way up and caught us. So that was good for him, but it was bad for me, and I thought, oh no, now I feel bad that he's caught us, and it was kind of because we were mucking around with my booties and all of that. In the end, it didn't really matter too much. Maybe he felt kind of like I did, because he ended up leading out the sprint. Me on his wheel. Me going for the long 200-metre sprint. Pretty weakly, Dan and Vaughan on my wheel. I think that was a pretty long drag race between the two of them. Vaughan holding out. Okay, so here we go. So let's have a look at a video Vaughan posted of the final K or so of the ride, and we'll just break this down. You can see here we're riding along with one right turn to go. He's on the front here, obviously. This is a group of me, Vaughan, Dan, and now Paul. We're into the last K, just tapping out nicely. He's just over 200 watts. He's bringing it down a little bit. Waiting to see if someone will come through. Looks like the light got a bit messed up in this part. He's tapping it out pretty slow. You can see that's me coming through there. Ditching my bottle. Yes, I picked it up. And Paul coming through on the front. So assuming about a third for drafting. Paul's tapping it out. As you'll see, he's lifting the pace there. He must be pushing, not here. You can see Vaughan's wattage, and just over 300 there. On the front, it's probably pushing 350, 400. Right to 50k now. You can see I'm kind of sitting there waiting. Have a little look over, make sure no one's on my right. All right, and this is what a terrible sprinter looks like. Are you ready for this? Here we go. He's standing. All right, and I'm unleashing here. That is the worst unleashing. We've got about 1,000 and so 1,000 watts, very close to 1,100 from Vaughan here. I've got a 62k an hour. Still going. There's the line. So, 1,000, 1,100 watts there from a guy who's probably 10 kilos lighter than me. That's pretty impressive. Long sprint. Held off Dan. Pretty strong. So that's how it worked out. Vaughan in first, Dan in second, me running FitLab in third, Paul bringing up the back. Dan must have pulled the pin. B grades. I gather there was somewhat of a break, went away at halfway, and instigated by who else? Steve R2 O'Keefe. I gather the bunch worked reasonably well, although it was caught pretty much right at the end. The sprint actually sort of staying at the front there, and Steve O'Keefe holding them off on the line. I've got footage of that one too, so I'll show you that in a sec. Followed by Chris Muir, Bruce Cook, Neil Harwood running for Optima. There's another good rider in there, Toby Fuller. Keep an eye on him running for Mayo GP. He's a strong young guy. And Ryan Cork having a better race this week in B grade. No result there listed, I don't know why. I think he may have DNF'd late in the piece, but held on for most of it. It's tricky for a skinny mountain bike. Had to come over to some type of flat road racing because of the flat power surges he needed. Mountain bikers have very good power to weight on climbs, not so good gross output for the flats, and that's why I'll get my riders, especially this time of year, who aren't used to that type of run, to do it. Some pretty grainy footage in slow-mo from the B grade sprint. This is the last sort of 50 metres or so. Steve O'Keefe here, FitLab kit, bringing it out. Bruce there in the blue, a very good sprinter. And Toby just drifting back here a little bit. Toby, keep pushing all the way to the line, man. Stephen O2, O'Keefe, picking it up at the end there. So that was a good win for him. Let's look at how C grade went. Got Rick Parker taking it from Josh Turnbull, Lee Pownell, and Phil Morgan riding for Elite Lollipops. Sounds delicious. And D grade, Stanley Riddle from Joe Clarkson and Martin Cronwell. These Elite Lollipops guys, I suspect they're picking up a bunch of points, as are we in FitLab. I don't know how the team points are going to shake out. It could be interesting. Alright, so that is the race. Oh, one thing I was going to mention was why is my power down? So normally in a sprint, even though I'm a larger, more voluptuous unit, I don't produce the sort of power that other guys do. And you can see in my sprint here, you saw the footage before. What does that look like? Let's zoom in. I mean, I'm peaking out there at about 907 watts. That is not a lot. For a guy my size to be a decent sprinter, I'd need to be up closer to 1400, 1500, so I'm well down. The reason for that partly is because I've been moving into a period of maximal strength weights during the week, before ahead of some high priority races later in the spring, namely North Islands. And that interestingly has, as you'd expected, torn a little bit more fibre and resulted in some lower peak wattages. I did a session in the bays yesterday with some sprint drills, intermittent amongst some aerobic endurance work, and it was interesting to note that my peak power for those drills was probably 20% down on where it is without the maximal weights. So this is weights, I'm talking hamstring curls, squatting, leg pressing, at a weight I can push for a maximum of 6 to 8 reps. Obviously there's a bit more muscle fibre tear going on, and I suspect that's the reason for the lower wattage there. So some morning experiences. Race 3 this weekend, Saturday, Tahara Circuit, Rego from 12 I believe. Come on out, have a look. Don't worry if it's raining. If you're not good at riding on the flat and dealing with flat power surges, do it anyway, because it will make you a stronger all-round rider. It's worked for me. I don't know who will be lining up in A grade, but it could be a bit of a battle as we get to the pointy end of the series and start thinking forward to the sort of main part of the spring calendars. We've got all the Masters Club races, events like Tapo, and the big, most important one, North Island Team Series. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, brought to you by FitLab, Capital Cycles, Tailwind, Nutrition Bar Mixer. If you'd like to catch a program from me, you can email me at steve@fitlab.co.nz. Thanks, guys. Talk soon. Thanks for watching / listening to Faster You Fall, brought to you by FitLab, Capital Cycles, Tailwind, Nutrition and Biomaxa. If you'd like to get in touch for a coaching program or testing, you can get hold of me, steve@fitlab.co.nz, or go to fitlab.co.nz. Talk soon, guys.